What's good, everybody out there on YouTube? This is your man Hastags dropping some hot faraga on this mic. Today we're going to be talking about E3 2020 because it has been canceled. Now, why has E3 2020 been canceled? It's been canceled by LACV. I'm not going to say the whole thing because your boy is scared of getting hit with that yellow $sign. Let's just call it the T virus. So the T virus has basically made it to where E3 had to be canceled. Many events worldwide and many other gaming events such as GDC had to basically be canceled. So it's not far-fetched to see that E3 would be canceled, especially considering that it's become more of a fan event than a press event within the past 5 or 6 years since they've opened their doors to the public. So what are my opinions on this and how do I think it affects E3 going forward in big gaming events like this in the future? Well, if you have been around the internet for the past 2 years, people have been saying E3 needs to go or that it's inevitable that it will go. I'm in the camp that it's inevitable that it will transform into something else. I don't think E3 is necessarily going to go away because while yes, E3 is becoming less and less necessary throughout the years, or has become less necessary throughout the years, I don't think it's going to be something that will disappear completely, especially considering that during most summers and most years, there's a large game drought, and E3 sort of fills in that gap to make it feel like there's less of a drought of games and kind of give something people to look forward to in the gaming world. Yeah, you might not get games, but you'll get game announcements, and you're gonna know what's gonna be coming in the fall and maybe next spring. So I don't think E3 is completely useless. Now, what this will probably do is we'll probably see a transformation of the event itself into something that's more of a digital-only event. I mean, Nintendo has already taken this approach. They started doing Nintendo Directs for E3 instead of doing a whole press conference years ago during the Wii U era. And Sony has skipped out on E3 2 years in a row now. They skipped out last year, and they said they were skipping out this year before this entire outbreak of the T virus was happening. And the only one really holding on to the really big, massive press event was Microsoft. And it's going to be kind of interesting to see how Microsoft handles itself and handles its online delivery of news and information for its games and its platform in the future. Because I think that's something Microsoft has sort of struggled with. Because Inside Xbox is pretty cool in itself. It's basically a Nintendo Direct, but you get more insider information and more upfront interviews and stuff with developers, but they just don't know how to cut out the fat, the unnecessary stuff that people really don't care to see. Instead of having, oh, this is a cool tidbit, this is a cool tidbit, and here's the massive amount of information that you as the consumer want to know, I kind of fill it with a bunch of unnecessary stuff, and that's really been the issue with Inside Xbox, at least for me, in sitting down and trying to watch Inside Xbox. I also think this is kind of gonna affect the YouTube landscape when it comes to gaming or just the online landscape in general, because a lot of YouTubers and journalists and influencers online kind of rely on E3, even the people down to the smaller channels, because all of this news and information comes out. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how people adapt going forward and how these companies adapt going forward. Will we still see an E3 Nintendo Direct? We'll still see a Summer Direct in some capacity, probably. I mean, that's kind of just a big window for a lot of game companies to release information, so for Nintendo to not do it would be crazy. Will we see a Sony State of Play? We'll likely see a State of Play from Sony, even though most of them have been pretty garbage outside of the FF7 one. And overall, am I sad to see E3 go? I kind of am, because I've been watching E3 since I was young. Back when I used to watch it on Spike TV and G4 when I was 5 and 6 years old. I'd be like, oh, look at all this cool stuff. And as an adult, to see it transform over the years and see what it's become has been kind of sad because it's become weaker and weaker over time. But at the same time, it's turning into something new, and I think that's why we've seen the weakness, because I think we'll see really just a big online event instead of something as large as an expo. Maybe they have the expo in the future for people who really want to go and play demos and stuff. Or maybe it'll become something like GDC, where E3 or the ESA, who basically run E3, figure out how they're going to get people to come out to this event and how they're going to attract people and what they're going to do in order to make E3 an appealing event to both the publishers and developers and then the consumers buying the video games, the game consoles, and the game peripherals. But I don't know, that's just all the thoughts I had on the situation. Links to any articles or anything will be down in the comments or the description below. I was going to say comment section. But don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Your boy is back, I think, maybe. I don't know. I got a Sonic video coming out soon, so watch out for that. I keep saying I have videos, then I record them, and then I never finish them. So, you know, maybe it'll be a Sonic video. I don't know. But this has been your man, Hastags. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Share this video out with your friends. Remember, Hot Faraga turns to Cold Blazaga. Make sure you check out some of my other videos. Follow your boy on Twitter and join the Discord. We're almost about to break 100. I'm going to see you guys later. Peace. Kiss, kiss.